Hello and welcome to another video and podcast from Fantasy Football Scout. My name is Joe and today I'm joined by Fantasy Football Scout's Deputy Editor Tom Freeman, who will be revealing his Gameweek 33 team. He's looking to bench boost and defensive transfers look likely. Let's see if we can help him and you with those decisions and more. Welcome Tom, how are you?
Yeah, I'm okay, thanks, Joe. Yeah, we were just saying it's been a while since we've done one of
Yeah.
these, but I think it was pre-international break. But
And
yeah, not a lot. Not
guess where we've moved in the rankings since
well, I
then.
was going to say there hasn't been a lot of movement, has there? Which makes you question what we've been doing. But we'll delve into that in the forthcoming half hour.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm okay. How about you? You all
Yeah,
right?
good. Just back from a week off. Didn't go anywhere, just stayed around here, but lucked out with the weather in the
Yeah,
southwest of
yeah,
England.
lovely.
And it's predictably now raining, which is great for someone who's just taken a week off and is now back to work. So that was good to do. But yeah, FPL wise, it hasn't been so great. So
No.
I'm actually quite pleased that I've stayed pretty much where I am in the rankings, which is sort of hovering around the top 100k,
Yeah, yeah.
just inside at the moment. Probably be to dip outside by the end of the week, because it's been pretty disastrous. We were talking before. I had a wild card with a bench boost 32 in mind.
Yeah.
Then a lot of my key players, Gordon wasn't actually as fit as he should have been. Saka has been benched a lot more than I thought he would be, and so they are pretty much errors on my part. But other things, Gabriel's injury as well, and
Yeah.
then as you know, I'll chat about my bench boost, but similar to your lack of bench boost this week in terms of some of the crazy score lines as well. Before
Yeah.
we go on, just a reminder, do press that like button, does help us out. Do remember to subscribe, keep up to date with our latest videos and podcasts. Well, let's just dive straight into the previous game week 32, but it's still ongoing. And I say previous, you've got 6 players, including your captain, to go, as a lot of people have really tripled up on
Yeah.
Palace and Newcastle. So do you want to just take us through your team and any moves you've made?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I'm on 43 points, as you can see. I'm not playing a chip this week, Joe. I like you, wildcarded with the intention to bench boost in 32. But as it got closer to deadline, I became less and less convinced by my bench. Obviously, Saka being the main problem, didn't think he'd start. But then also, I didn't think City would keep the clean sheet up against, a decent Palace attack. Arsenal mass rotation impacts the back line too. So I held off on it. We'll come to it later. I'm now stuck in a position where I've got to use it and I'm running out of time to use it. But going back to this game week, so I'm on 43 points. I was always expecting a bit of a rank drop because there's a lot of chips in play, isn't there, Joe? And I think, I was looking okay on Saturday. I think I was about 170k, but obviously dropped a bit yesterday. I haven't
Yeah,
got Salah.
yeah.
And obviously Bradley did well for a few managers as well, including yourself, Joe. But
Yes, I'm in
just
the
got,
I'm in the 0.6% club.
yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, he got the clean sheet, didn't he? Came
Yeah.
off on what was it, 67, I
Oh,
think.
when he yeah, because I just knew the West Ham would score. That was just
Yeah,
inevitable.
absolutely.
I actually I cheered when Bradley came off there. I didn't care about bonus. I just wanted
Well,
that clean
it,
sheet points.
it was perfect timing because West Ham was starting to get the upper hand, weren't they? It felt like the goal
Yeah,
was coming,
yeah,
and then of course, that helped him with the bonus as well, didn't it?
yeah.
So decent call with that. But yeah, going back to my team, so I'll just run through it really quickly. So I've got Verbruggen in goal with 2 points. Not much happening at the back. Trippier with 2, Livramento with 2, Cucurella with 1. I did for a moment think Cucurella had scored yesterday,
Yeah.
and it eventually went. And this kind of sums up the pattern of the game week as I move nicely into Asensio, um, who who I got ahead of the Forest match the game week before because I was confident he'd start against Forest, he would be benched against
Yeah,
PSG, he would play against Southampton.
yeah,
All going swimmingly so
yeah,
far.
yeah.
Um, until he stepped up for the penalty and missed it. And then I could not quite believe what I was seeing when he missed the second penalty
I know.
deep into injury
Yeah.
time. The only minor positive from it is that he got an assist for that second one, so he didn't finish on minus
Because
points.
McGinn followed up to save him.
Yeah, and no matter what you think about the rule, I know a lot of people don't like that, but
Oh, I liked it.
at least I liked it on Saturday because at least it was 2 points instead of minus. coming through. So yeah, Palmer got the assist yesterday, but again, really underwhelming. I think it's
Yeah.
10 Premier League games he hasn't scored in now. Um, Sarr and Eze did good combined for the goal there, and still got the game to go with them. Mateta just got the one. Mamouche got the goal with 7, and then Isak, he got 5, 10 as a captain. Did consider triple captaining him, but I think I'm going to save that for. Well, I am going to save that for 36 now.
Good move, I
Um,
think.
so yeah, I mean, 6 to play.
Mm.
Got 3 chips still to go. I think I had a look earlier. I'm 30 points off the top 100k, so I'm
Okay.
probably 30 something behind you, Joe,
Yeah.
which is where I was a few weeks back. And I think that's just got to be the target
Yeah.
now this season. Just try and get into that top 100k, and then,
Yeah.
like you say, Joe, have a cup of tea and move on to the next season.
Yeah,
So
definitely. That's what I'm hoping to. I'll be happy to stay in the top 100k,
yeah,
especially next week. There's going to be bench boosts. I'm not going to be using a chip next week, so yeah, I'm expecting a bit of a rank fall there. I got Asensio in too. I played my bench boost, and this was my bench. And I think it was the right call, not only to bench
yeah.
boost, but it was the right call to get the players I got in, not necessarily the outcome, as
So
content creators say.
you've got Henderson still to come, Joe.
Henderson. So I had a double game week goalkeeper.
Yeah,
Yes, he didn't get me much in the first game, but it's just what you get. You know, double game week goalkeeper. You know,
yeah,
chance to
for
save
him.
points, maybe clean
Yeah.
sheet, penalty save, whatever. And I also got in Asensio, so it could have been absolutely legendary bench
It
boost.
could have been, yeah,
But
yeah.
in the end, 2 points. But what are the odds on that? I mean, I can't remember the last time that happened. Berahino, West Brom,
Oh God, yeah. I
Walters
can't
at
even
Stoke,
recall.
or was that
Yeah,
loads of own goals? But I can't remember.
yeah, yeah. I think he had a game when he had
So
the own
so
goal
you
and he
know
missed a
it. Yeah,
penalty.
as you said, by the second goal, it was just funny. But I like you. You're a Villa fan as well. I looked at the lineups in PSG. I looked
Yeah,
at him. I looked at clips of him. I looked at how attacking he was. I looked that he was second on penalties with Rashford, who
yeah.
probably wouldn't, or I thought might not be on the pitch for that many minutes in Southampton. I thought
Mm.
and it was the right decision, but 2 penalty misses against Southampton.
Yeah, you can't write it, can you?
No,
I mean, we're obviously going to keep him now for the double game week. I think we'll get one start and probably 20 minutes off the bench in the
I'll
other
take
one.
that.
And it might be
I'll take
okay.
that. Yeah,
Rashford is rotating with Watkins at the moment.
yeah,
If we get a penalty next,
yeah.
it wouldn't surprise me if Asensio steps up
Exactly.
again. I don't know if we want him to, but
No.
he might
He's
step up
second.
again.
He's second in the
Mm,
penalties, and he remains that
yeah,
case. It's Rashford, then
yeah,
Asensio, and then there's a bunch of other guys: Tielemans,
yeah, McGinn,
McGinn, Watkins.
yeah, yeah.
I also got Bradley in, who I'm going to recommend to you
Oh, brilliant. Yeah,
in the next section.
yeah.
And so I was happy with that. And I also had Lewis Dunk. So I mean, when else am I going to be playing
Oh,
Lewis Dunk on a bench boost when it's not
that's
against a Leicester side that hasn't scored since January?
yeah, and it's a really strong bench boost on paper.
Oh
You
yeah,
can't go in with much of a
no,
Bradley at home to
yeah,
West Ham, Asensio at
yeah,
Southampton, Dunk against
yeah,
Leicester,
yeah.
double game week keeper. What can you do?
I think the disappointment for me with that is partly as a Brighton fan because I actually think
Yeah.
Lewis Dunk is now not of a quality, and that's a very
Ah,
sad thing.
really?
I don't
Okay.
think he's of a quality because he was partially at fault for the first goal, and I've
Mm.
seen him do that before. He just hasn't got the speed anymore. I think he's a good squad player, but I don't think he should
Mm.
be starting for Brighton, and that's a very sad thing for me to say, and I'm sure Brighton fans will
Well,
possibly
yeah, and
agree.
I think Leicester were always going to. I mean, they've obviously gone 8 without a goal
Mm,
before that. They were always going to score at some point. It
yeah,
was just like when that was going to happen. And even against United, I
yeah.
watched them a couple of weeks back, and they were creating a few chances.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just unfortunate that it landed when
Okay.
so many had the bench boost in play.
Indeed. So you're looking to bench boost next week. So we'll actually show your team as
It's
it
not
is.
it's not definite, but I think this
Mm,
makes most sense
yeah.
at the moment.
For,
So
for personally, for your mental health and for my mental health as well, I also looked at it. Not only did I have a good bench boost on paper, and it was just marginally okay in the end, was just get it out of the way because
yeah,
it infects the rest of your team. The bench boost is an infection. and it infects the rest of your team. It affects all your decisions. You have to have a bench of a quality, and you have to.
Yeah.
And so now it's gone. I only have to worry about 11 players. I've got cheap. I'm never going to play Dunk again. And so, there we go. And so I think for you,
I
for
think
the rest of the season, just it's good to get out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, I've had some brilliant bench boosts in the past in double game weeks where I've got 100 plus points easy. But this year, with the way the doubles have
Yeah,
fallen, they've all been a bit underwhelming
yeah,
because of the FA Cup schedule's changed. And there just hasn't been, even playing it, last week I didn't like my bench. I don't think I
no,
particularly like it this week. But like you say, we're running out of opportunities.
yeah,
Get it out the way, hope
yeah.
for a bit of good
Okay.
fortune with it. And so, yeah, I think I'll end up playing it in 33.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you've got lots of doublers at the moment. You've got
Mm,
two free transfers, so you could
yeah.
even do a hit, do three.
Yeah. Maybe.
You've got players like Cucurella,
Yeah.
Palmer, who are single game week players and not the greatest of fixtures.
Yeah.
Just checking actually who they play next.
Fulham away, which
Yeah,
is a
that's not great.
tough place to go.
You've
Yeah.
also got the Trippier and Livramento,
Yeah.
but you do have Isak, who would be a great player to put in the 11. I'm
He-
putting him in
He'll
the 11.
he'll be on the bench, I'm
Yeah,
sure. I'm pretty sure my focus will be defenders. If
yeah,
I did want to go for somebody like Rodgers, I could switch out Palmer
yeah.
um, for like a -4. But I think the priority needs to be getting some better defenders
Yeah,
in place now.
you definitely need that as well because Trippier, Livramento, Cucurella all would be benchable. You can only bench two defenders,
Yeah,
so yeah, I would do that as well. And there's lots of
yeah,
options, so let's move on to
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Here's a table I've done of bench boosting defenders for Game Week 33. This is their last 6 matches. I've highlighted in blue those with a single game week, who I actually quite like. I think
yeah,
are very
yeah,
good options here. But there's also a number of players who've got a double game week as well, which could
yeah.
also be good options as well. I've sorted it by chances created because that's what you want. Assist potential there. Obviously goal scoring potential, but they're quite few and far between for defenders.
Yeah, yeah,
Hard to
absolutely.
hard to predict as well. And so we're going to start with Eight Nori. What a great audition he had this week.
Mm,
But 13 chances created. That's double the next, which is Luca Dean. It's absolutely huge. His minutes per expected goal involvement is every 200 minutes or so, and that's really good for a defender. His ownership's in less than 1 in 10 teams. Baseline bonus strong. He's 3 shots on target, 7 shots inside the box. He's starting every match. He's 4.8, and he plays Manchester United, which is now an easy fixture, I would say. And I mean, I think if I saw a bench boost in 33 with 8 Nori on it, I would applaud them.
Yeah, well, he scored and assisted yesterday, didn't he? And they look really good under Pereira at the moment. I think they've won 4 in a row. He's
Yeah,
got them set up. Like the team is the same. There's player selection. There's like consistency in it. You know who's going to play.
yeah,
Everybody knows their roles. Cunha's come back. He can't even get in the team, but when he does, he's scoring. So yeah, I mean, I immediately looked at the fixture and didn't really consider it. But you've got to take into account that United are playing in Europe on Thursday
yeah.
against Lyon. Wolves are going to be well rested. I don't think anybody would be surprised if Wolves went and won that game.
No,
So I like Ain't Nore in that respect. What I don't particularly like is the fixtures after, because I'm going to free hit in 34, so we can get rid of that
Leicester.
game week.
Yeah,
Yeah, which is another good fixture if you're not free hitting, to another reason to get Ain't Nore. But it's what comes after. I think they've got City, Brighton, Palace, and Brentford. I think
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is.
All
Yeah.
attacking sides. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, that's pretty good for a bench boost. But I think what I want to do is get somebody that can maybe help me a bit after the free hit for the running as well.
okay, right, yeah, okay. Well, we've got Luca Dean next here, but I'm going to bring in Conser as well. He's much further down this list. Conser's only created 2 chances, Luca Dean 6. But obviously there is going to be some rotation, possibly. But these two seem the most secure or most likely to get an assist or something, or an attacking return. Baseline bonus strong for both of them, is for pretty much everyone here on this list, but no shots inside the box, no shots on target for Luca Dean. Conser's actually had 3 as well, so we've got a bit of goal threat with Conser. Would you be minded to get a Villa defender in? They're cheap, but also it's against Newcastle and City. So I'm not sure you're going to get any clean sheets.
Well, that's it. And I think that rotation is going to be a bit of a
Okay.
problem because we've got Newcastle on Saturday, Man City on
Hmm.
Tuesday, and then
Yeah.
we've got the FA Cup semi-final against Palace on the
Okay.
Saturday after.
Hmm.
Um, Dean is probably less secure because of Maatsen playing well when he's coming in.
Yeah.
Konza, I think, will play most games. We did, I mean, everybody criticised, on Saturday, I think a few predicted lineups got 2 or 3 players out, and we didn't rotate Rodgers.
Hmm.
We didn't rotate Rashford. So there was a bit of a pile on with that. But people forget that the week before against Forest, the Champions League rival, we rotated 8 players in our team.
Hmm.
So even Konza was jumped for that with Dizazi coming in. So I don't think there's like a theme or anything. I think Emre will rotate when he needs to, and that puts me off Dean and Konza. If they had great fixtures in the double, I'd be tempted to gamble, but
Okay.
we're not going to keep a clean sheet, I don't think, against either of those sides. So.
Next two players are not relevant to you, I don't think. Gvardiol, you've already got. That's fine.
Yeah.
If you don't have him and you're watching this and you're looking to bench boost, he is a great defender to get in because he's got Everton and Aston Villa. There's potential for clean sheets there. He could even get an attacking return, although that has been quite limited of late. And the other
Yeah.
player is Munoz, who's next from chances created. So both Gvardiol and Munoz have created 4 chances in the last 6 matches. But Munoz, for you, I don't think you'll go for because you've already tripled up on Palace attack, Palace
Yeah.
players. I've got triple up on Palace players. Doesn't include him either. So I'm not going to be taking 2 transfers to do that. But
No, so
a good assets, both good assets.
yeah.
Next player is Wan-Bissaka, who I do think is quite interesting. West Ham. I'm frequently on these videos. He's sort of flagged up on these tables. Created 4 chances. He's starting 6 matches, all 6 of the last 6 matches he's played. Not being a sub. Minutes per baseline bonus is strong. Very small, slim off chance of an attacking return. But he's against Southampton at home, so you could be getting a clean sheet there. You could get bonus as well, like I did with Bradley on my bench boost. So Wan-Bissaka's like a Bradley for this week, I think. It's a really strong
Yeah.
fixture, strong chance of bonus, could get an attacking return as well. And looking at the fixture ticker, which we possibly have a look at if we've got time in a bit, is for the 33 to 38. West Ham are top. They've got Southampton. Then they've got Brighton, who my first game at the Amex was watching West Ham beat Brighton 1-0 many years ago. Then they got Tottenham, Manchester United, Nottingham Forest and Ipswich. So it's an all right bunch of fixtures. They're top of the fixture ticker. I think if you want an investment for the rest of the season and a defender you can play, I think he's the one.
Yeah, and they could double if Forest reach the FA
There we
Cup
go.
final.
There we
Because
go.
they're meant to be playing West Ham in 37.
Yeah.
I think there's 3 players on this list who I think I'm considering
Okay.
this week, and Wan-Bissaka is definitely one of them.
Okay.
He's been playing as a wing back. I don't know if that will continue against Southampton. I think it probably will. I think they've been pretty set on that under Potter.
Yeah.
They've also got to play Ipswich, I think, haven't they? I think you mentioned that. So at some point, so this. Am I right in saying that? Have they got to play Ipswich, or have I imagined that? So
Wan-Bissaka,
yeah,
West Ham are playing Ipswich in the final game of the
yeah,
season.
that's right. So it's there somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that definitely considering that, Joe. And I think West Ham, you never quite know against the promoted sides, but I think they've got as good a chance as anybody
Yeah.
as keeping a clean sheet this week. Southampton look down and out, don't they? So
Definitely.
yeah, really good option.
Yeah, definitely. Kiwi on Saliba and next. Now you've already got
Yeah, I'm tripled up.
you've
Yeah, I've
already
got
tripled up on
Ryan.
Arsenal
Yeah.
defence. But just for the benefit of those watching and listening, Arsenal double up in defence. If you do have an extra Arsenal space, could be a good way to go about things because Arsenal have Ipswich away and then Crystal Palace at home. There is clean sheet potential there. They then follow up though, however, with Bournemouth, Liverpool, Newcastle, and Southampton. So it's that Southampton
Tough.
last game really. So
Yeah.
I personally not sure I would like to be saddled with double Arsenal defence for the rest of the season.
I mean, I think Kivior's cheap, isn't he? You could probably sit him on the
4.0.
bench a bit
Yeah.
if you don't need him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they looked okay defensively, even though they rotated at the weekend.
Yeah.
I kind of I was quite relieved when Brentford scored, but I did think they would have a bit more attacking
Yeah.
threat. But yeah, I think Kivior's okay for the runner. So
Next name is Bradley. He would be top of my list if I didn't already have him.
Yeah.
Because Slot's comments are really favourable about him, basically saying how
Yeah,
amazing he is.
yeah,
Trent Alexander-Arnold is, I don't know when he'll be back, but also he's going to go to Real Madrid by the sounds of it at the end of the season. So realistically, how many minutes is he going to get? Bradley's only
yeah.
4.7, so you can play him for the rest of the season. And I think with Liverpool, there's clean sheet potential there. Yes, Trent might come back to take his place, but he's only 4.7, so you can park him on the bus. Got Leicester away, which is a brilliant clean sheet potential. Then Tottenham, Chelsea, and Arsenal. Chelsea's clean sheet potential, I would say, maybe even Arsenal, and then Brighton and Crystal Palace to finish the season. So, yeah, tempted.
Yeah, it's not the easiest of run-ins, but again, he's what
Yeah,
4.7 million, I think. So, and he's really good. Like
yeah, yeah.
those kind of underlapping runs he makes. I think he's got an attacking return in him. He got one obviously at Fulham
Yeah,
the week before, didn't he? I think he helped Salah as well. I think
yeah,
rather than having somebody like Curtis Jones behind him, I think Bradley behind is better.
yeah, yeah,
It creates space for him. So yeah, Bradley again
yeah,
is the second
yeah,
name with
yeah, yeah.
Wan-Bissaka. I'm seriously considering.
But his ownership's only 0.6, so everyone don't get him in. Except for Tom. Tom's allowed,
Yeah, okay, thanks.
because it's absolute. Yeah, each point is precious as well.
Yeah.
There, we've got Concert. We've already mentioned as well. It's Timber. We can probably saddle him up with Kiwi on and Saliba. He has got a couple of shots inside the box, so there is a potential there. But it's 5.7. I'm not sure an Arsenal double up in defence is possibly good long term. Obviously, apart from the goalkeeper, they've got Van Dijk next, who did score, so underlining his goal scoring potential. A couple of shots inside the box. These goals will be rare, but they will happen. So yeah, he's another option. But I think Bradley's like 2 million cheaper or so.
Well, that's it. And you can bench Bradley if you don't want to play him in some of those
Yeah,
tougher
yeah,
games and not eat too much of your budget. I did like him and I was looking at him and then he scored yesterday and that kind of put me off him a bit because
yeah,
I don't know, I'm of the mentality that that's his goal now. But
yeah,
maybe I should relook at
yeah.
it. I mean, Leicester aren't the
Okay.
best at defending set pieces, but I do think Bradley probably has the edge over Van Dijk at the moment.
Okay, and the last name on the list is Diaz as well. He's created no chances, but he has one
No,
shot inside the box. So very limited. He's 5.4. It's just more clean sheets, really. He's got Everton, Aston
that's
Villa.
it.
Then he's got
Yeah.
Wolves, Southampton, Bournemouth, and Fulham afterwards. Does blank in 34, obviously, but if you're free hitting, it shouldn't be a problem. I think I would double up on the Man City defence because I don't trust
Yeah.
anyone apart from Marmoush, Gvardiol, and then I'm like, what? It's just shrugging my shoulders.
Oh yeah, it's hard,
So,
isn't it? You've got Savinho being benched,
yeah.
Foden's been out. Where do you go really? You know, you can't trust any of them. So yeah, Diaz is on the list. I think it just gets me another double game week player.
Yeah.
And like you say, it's Wolves and
Yeah.
Southampton
Oh,
after the double.
yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it will be Diaz coming in and then one of Bradley or Wan-Bissaka.
Okay, well, let's have a look at your team for next week and see where that would fit in. So your bench boost would have Isaac, Verbruggen, Diaz, or Cucurella, I guess.
Yeah, I would probably take out Cucurella and Livramento.
Okay,
I think so. Diaz would come in for Cucurella,
yeah,
and then Livramento would switch to say Bradley.
yeah,
So I
okay,
would again, it's not a great bench boost. It's Verbruggen, Isak, Trippier, and then probably Bradley.
okay,
But if you look, I'm going to free hit in 34. If
yeah,
you look at 35 to 38,
that's good. So,
there isn't any better
no,
opportunities to use it. I want to use the triple captain in 36. Villa have got PSG on
yeah,
Tuesday. Newcastle, I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet. Might get lucky with a Trippier assist or something. Isak can certainly score at Villa Park. Then I've got Bradley maybe with a really good fixture at Leicester. And Verbruggen, maybe if he gets 3 points or something, you'll take it. So,
well, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
that's
after I
where I'm
got
at.
0 points for Dunk, Verbruggen, if Verbruggen got save points, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
yeah,
I'm just going to quickly run through your team just for the benefit of those
yeah.
listening on the podcast version. It's stacked full of double game week players, and with a bench boost, no matter who it is, it will help. So you've got Raya in goal, Saliba, Gvardiol, and then Cucurella, who's going to become, let's say, Diaz.
Yeah.
Then you've got Saka, Palmer against Fulham, he's going to stay. Sarr, Asensio, and Eze, and then Mateta, Marmouche. Who's your captain? We'll come to that in a sec. And then, as you said, you just described your bench there would have Isak, Bradley, Trippier, and Verbruggen. So yeah, we'll finish off with the captaincy. Marmouche. Why
Yeah.
Marmouche and not Saka? I've got it on Saka at the moment, but am I a fool?
Well, I had it on Saka, and then I resent you my team just before this, Joe, and
Yeah.
it had gone to Mamouche, which tells you I'm considering both of them.
Okay.
I think, just a little bit concerned about Saka and the way he's being managed. He's obviously going to play against Real Madrid. He's then got these two games. He's got Ipswich and then he's got Palace. Now, after that, they have got a rest at the weekend. They're not in the FA Cup, which helps. But yeah, I'm just, Mamouche with those fixtures, with that home game against Villa. It's tough this week. If I was more confident on Saka's minutes, I would go for
Okay.
him. And let's see how that looks after Real Madrid.
Okay.
And watch Arteta's press conference. Not that it'll give much away, but
No.
maybe watch Neil's team
No.
news video on Friday and just see where we're at with those minutes projections. After that, Mamouche, I think, is a really good, solid second option, though, if I'm
I
not
think he is.
confident.
I think he is. It's just that Everton game. Everton are annoying at the moment. They're annoyingly
They
good
are. Yeah,
in
I would like to
defence.
go. I would consider an Everton defender if it wasn't for this fixture because they've got good
Yeah.
ones to come after. No.
Okay. I'm just going to very quickly put the fixtures up on the screen. This is what we were talking about earlier, and this shows that West Ham from game weeks 33 to 38 overall are the best. Have got the best set of fixtures there. Man City, good set of fixtures. Brentford fixtures really pick up as well.
Yeah,
Starting with Brighton in game week 33. Nottingham Forest fixtures are still pretty good, but maybe they're tiring. Wolves fixtures really strong as well, so we can invest in them. Particularly attackers. Cunha is definitely on my radar. Ipswich as well. They're showing some fight. Meanwhile, Chelsea, Tottenham, Crystal Palace, Newcastle, and Brighton have amongst the worst fixtures there. So just good to get that in perspective. Okay, thanks so much for joining me, Tom. Good luck with the game. Good luck with your bench boost.
thank you.
As a fellow bench booster that's not confident about their bench boost. Good.
Well, if you get, I mean, if you this week, if Henderson, does something special on
Could
Wednesday,
say,
then
I wish he was playing Asensio.
yeah, that would help, wouldn't it? Yeah, so maybe we should start looking at that in future
Yeah.
goalkeepers playing Villa because we've never been good at penalties, even when Watkins steps up.
No.
And it's a matter of time, I think, before Rodgers takes them on. But
Yeah.
maybe Rashford will have much joy, a bit more joy with his next one. But yeah, if Henderson comes out with a few points, the fact you've got Bradley on there, Joe, kind of helps. So.
But yeah, this could be Verbruggen's chance to save a penalty as well for you next week.
Maybe.
Okay, good luck with that. We'll be back next week. Plenty more videos and podcasts this week. We've got goals imminent. We've got the team news as well. It's just ones I'm involved in. I'll be doing a top picks with a bit more focus on bench boost players, midfielders and attackers as well. As if I had a free hit, for example, a free hit and a bench boost simultaneously. But anyway, best 15 players basically, and loads of other stuff. Burning questions, Scoutcast, all the stuff, all the usual favourites. Take care. See you soon.
Thanks, Joe.